That's okay. This question is kind of for everybody, but going back to when you were just talking about when Danielle died in the bathroom, I was watching commentary on Halloween 2 from Rob, and he had mentioned there was a lot of incidents with sets and how they were not easily breakable.
Oh, because Tyler, remember? It was a real door. They didn't, because we did a lot of that shit, all that stuff on the fly, so I think it wasn't really planned for him to come through the door until the night before. So then he shows up and they're like...
He got pissed off, I guess, because he couldn't get through that door.
That was a huge, thick, old-ass door. And Rob just was like, well, just break it down. Just go through it.
And Tyler's like a big guy, and he's up for anything. But that's scary when you're sitting there in the bathroom and you're seeing this guy, this real dude, break down this door.
And we're on the other side.
Yeah, we're on the other side.
Well, it's kind of the same when you were in the booth in the parking lot, too, because that wasn't easily breakable.
No,
and he
you know
said,
what?
thank God it was
Actually,
breakable
funny
glass.
story about that. They asked for a breakable shed, and for some reason, some communication got lost, and they actually built a real shed. So Tyler had to like get in there and break that stuff, and I'm sitting inside, like freaked out. But they
It worked though.
Yes, it worked, right? It wasn't working on camera, so they actually built a separate shed that was breakable for Tyler.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let me tell you, you know the first scene that we have in the kitchen where Scout ends up tonguing the bagel.
I wasn't tonguing, I was fingering the bagel. There was a difference.
Whatever. we shot the main scene, right? And then Rob says, just everybody improv, bring in anything you want. Well, by the time we finally ended up with all of us bringing in all our great ideas, we had to shoot the master all over again. That's how. But that's, for me, what keeps it so in the moment. Everything he does, you feel like it's in the moment, like you're really watching people do it, because we are. And we didn't know, we kept some things locked in, but a lot of the stuff was just different every single time.
You gotta watch what you say on set too, because you'll get pages the next morning of stuff that he overheard you talking about that's written into your character. Yeah, like, oh, I'm shaking in my boots. Like whenever I said on the H2 on the porch to the cop guy. So kind of watch your mouth.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The older actors would tell you to always turn your mic off when you go to shoot. Right, Eileen?
Yeah.
I've got my ass really badly. That's it, do it.
But you should always leave it on when you go to the bathroom.
Yes.
So.
That's a good sound effect.
I guess this was for Scout and Danielle more so. H2, when it came out, it seemed like the turnaround was extremely fast. Because I know when you were here 2 years ago, there was no talk of it. Like a month later, it was announced. And it's such a different type of film, all the stuff with the white horse. And your character especially is kind of like off the deep end. Was any of that expected? Or was it planned? Or how did it come about? Because it's such a different film.
I don't think it was, but I think it just kind of developed into that. I mean, if you see the characters from the very first one, I mean, that's what's so strange with the very first one and the second one. It just kind of seems like the same Laurie Strode, and I just don't feel like that's reality. I don't feel like that would happen to somebody. I mean, imagine going through everything that Laurie Strode went through. I mean, people deal with things differently. And me, I would have a nervous breakdown and just go off the deep end, and I think Rob wanted to show that. Rob wanted to show a girl that just kind of loses everything, and just loses herself. And I just think it was amazing take on it. But it wasn't expected, but I mean, Rob, you never know what to expect.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think we didn't really know where he was going to take it, and we developed a lot of that stuff when we were there too. He wrote it really quick, and we got out there really quick, and we kind of worked it out in the rehearsal process a bit as well. I mean, I went back like two times after I finished. We did the dream sequence where I get my throat slit. That's sort of recreating what Forsyth went through from the first one, but that was like thought about afterwards. And remember, he took us out into the front and made us scream with that crazy camera and those strobe lights. It was like 2 in the morning. He's like, I have one more idea. I just want you guys to scream. And we're like, okay, what do you want us to scream? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, see you next Tuesday. You fucking. Like doing the whole thing, and we're like, more. Okay, more. How much more do you want me to do? Just keep going. And we're
I saw the Two Girls, One Cup, if you guys know what that is. So I know, I think I screamed something about Two Girls, One Cup, and Rob was just like, what, wait,
No.
what? No, down. Tone it down. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, you said let's go for it. Oh well.
And then, you know, I don't know, like Scott was saying, everybody reacts differently when something traumatic happens in your life. And I know for me, like, you know, innocence lost, having to take care of her, and my relationship with my dad and all that stuff. So I think that's more how I would have handled it if that actually happened to me, Danielle. So I think that he uses a lot of who we are as people because he gets to know you really well.
And I mean, even look at Malcolm. He's completely Malcolm. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
right?
totally. Oh, yeah.
He knows us really well. And it's great.
Good afternoon, ladies. How are you?
Hi.
Going off of his question, I like the direction of H2 and kind of where the story was heading, but it almost seems like the theatrical kind of got ripped off a little bit. And
They all do, don't they?
Well, when Rob released it on DVD and did the unrated one, it sounds like it was his idea and what he was going for was a little more thought out and seen on footage. Were you guys 100% happy with the theatricals?
Well, I think it's like a dimension thing, to be honest. I mean,
Well, there's too many cooks in the kitchen
Yeah,
when you release a
too many
studio
people.
film and the theater. You know, you've got the MPA, you've got the producers, everybody has an opinion. So that's why the DVD director's cuts are the best, because that's what that's what the movie that we make. But that's not the movie that we see, unfortunately. So
I know Rob has been very vocal how unhappy he was with the second one. And that, going off of his new movie, that's when he announced that he was making it more on an independent type of platform so he could have 100%
We're saying,
yeah, you have
Yeah.
more control that way.
Yeah,
I think it's way better doing, my opinion, I like doing independent films rather than a studio film. I mean, the worst experience of my doing my films have been the ones with studio. I'd rather do independent movies where I have more range.
you guys got to go see those movies, though.
Yes,
It
it's the
depends.
only problem.
It really does depend on how big the director is.
Yeah, it does.
You know, Stephen tells the studios what to do, like Edwards told the studios what to do. You know, Peter Jackson.
You know, actually, that's a good point. I'm sorry, Dave.
No, go ahead.
I can't hear you all. But that's a really good point. It's up to you guys. They're going to keep making remakes of films, and they're going to keep making remakes of great films. As long as you guys go out and see it, and they're all looking for the first weekend, and they're all looking for this bonus of money on the first weekend, and then they'll go make another one and another one. So you guys either not go see these movies at all, or go see independent films, and then you'll luck out. And I do a lot of independent films, all
we all
of us do. And they're fun, and they're good, and they're really, I mean, even like Hatchet 2, Hatchet 1, Hatchet 2 that just came out that was thrown out of the theaters because of the MPAA. I'm sure if you've spoken to Adam, you've heard about that, that it wasn't. But Frozen is a wonderful film that he made, and you should all go see that. And you have to support independent films, that's all.
All right, I liked what Rob did within the movie. The only thing that I was wondering your opinions on it was how do you feel the fact that he almost seemed to give Michael more motivation with his remake? You look back at the original, it's just kind of, middle class man, he just kind of went crazy for no reason.
It wasn't a remake, it was a raw make. You just gotta like It loosely had to do with the first picture.
Speaking of remakes, have you heard about apparently they're doing the remake of Howlin'?
Yeah, I read the script. Have talked to me. It's really the very first part of it. They're doing it in Canada. Reminds you kind of the original, but it's not really. It's all young kids, but it's good. The script's good. I don't know what they're going to do with the script, but the script I was surprisingly happy with. So they want me to come in and do a cameo. We'll see how much money they have.
The music from the dream sequences, from the original.
Wait, what?
Said,
From the Howling?
yeah,
Yeah, what about it?
Was it really bold? They like did use that and the.
I don't know, that depends on if they can get the rights and, you know, all that. Did they use it in all the other porno hellings? Did they? Well, then anybody can get it.
Porn howling?
This question is just really for Scout, actually, because you're the only one that was in. Hi. And the Phantom Jam at the end of Halloween 2, was it really as insane on the set as it looks throughout the actual movie? Because it looks pretty crazy, that whole...
It was crazy. Actually, it was really, really great what Rob did. We filmed that in Georgia, and he put out this big casting call for extras in Georgia, and they just all basically came in their costumes. And we filmed that whole Phantom Jam in 3 days. It wasn't just one day. It was 3 days of intense dancing and screaming and acting like I was drunk. So, I mean, it was a lot of fun. And seeing the band play and everything, and working with Bria and Angela, it was a lot of fun.
And then the guy, the lead singer in the Phantom Jam scene, was also the guy from the strip club, right? The guy that took the trash out, you know? You probably can't tell because his face is painted.
And you know who he is? He's the caveman commercials.
What? Yeah. Not as the caveman in the caveman commercials.
A little bit of trivia.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Cool.
No, but it was fun. It was a blast. It was very hectic though.
This question is for Kristina. Any word on when Zone of the Dead's going to come out?
I mean, it is out in Europe. You can get it if you have a regional DVD player. You can order it on Amazon UK. It's called Apocalypse of the Dead there. It's supposed to be on video on demand soon. I don't have video on demand. I don't watch much TV, so I don't know. But so that, I guess that's the answer. But I think they must come out with a US version of it soon. I think it's just taking a little bit of time, you know. That's my answer. If you come to my house, I'll show it to you.
They're all going to come to your house.
This question is for Danielle. I think it's great how you were in the old Halloween series and then got a new one. How did that actually come about? Where you sought out, or did you seek out that role?
Were you not here a half an hour ago? I'm sorry, I'm just resting your bones. I auditioned for it, actually. I had heard they were redoing it when I was here, or they were going to make, Rob Zombie was going to make one when I was here, and kind of got on it when I got home trying to get in. I thought just do a cameo or something would be really fun, and then ended up auditioning. And if you watch the DVD, you can see my audition. Scary. And then ended up being in.
It's hard to audition, you guys.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It sucks.
I've been in the business 40 years. I still have to go in and audition, and I still wonder if I'm going to make it, nail it, you know, when I'm in the room. It's just, once you have the job, you have all this freedom open up. When you're in the audition, you just plan.
So true.
Yeah.
When if somebody just says you have the part, you're like, yeah, I know exactly, and you start doing all this stuff, and you're like, you make decisions, you go into an audition, and you're like, oh, I don't know.
And also, when Scout, Kristina and I were already cast in Halloween before Scout was, and I remember first day I met Scout, I came to the production office, and into this little room, and with a light and a camera, and Rob, and I forget who else was in the room.
So scary.
And I was like, hi Scout, nice to meet you, I'm Danielle, and then I laid on the floor. And she had to pretend to do the scene where she finds Annie in the entranceway in the first Halloween, and I'm dying, and she's crying, yelling for someone to call 911.
In the production office.
In the production office, in a room, within, hey,
With
take
terrible lighting.
Yeah.
Everything sucks. You look terrible.
And then that night I got a call saying, oh, well, they're still not sure. They need you to come back and read with Kristina and Danielle. Everybody was doing camera testing. And I just show up and have to do a test to get the role. So
Okay, but I got a great inside story about Rob.
Okay.
Can I tell?
Yeah.
Were you finished?
No.